Hello and welcome to the Plentiful Goddess podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today about how to increase your motivation to exercise. I feel like this is more common than I think most people think. You have an exercise scheduled, maybe you even have a exercise buddy, and maybe you signed up to a gym or whatever that might be. And the day comes and you have to exercise and you're not feeling like it. And then you skip it, and then you feel worse about it, and you get caught in a vicious cycle of not doing anything, feeling guilty, and maybe then you go work out again, but you can't seem to stay consistent with it, all of that kind of stuff. And I've been there, there struggling to find a motivation to work out or not being able to stay consistent with it. And so I want to give you a couple of tips that have helped me, that have helped my clients, in order for you to stay consistent with your workouts, but also feel like you're not forcing yourself to do that, okay? Now, the first thing that I definitely want to say, and that is really important and often overlooked when exercising, is why are you doing it in the first place? And interestingly enough, based on experience, when the number one motivation is weight loss, oftentimes that motivation is not enough. Why I'm saying this is because weight loss is a result, right? Is a result of like, okay, one day I'm gonna be lighter and I'm gonna feel great. But oftentimes the result is not really what keeps us motivated, is what happens after we achieved that result. What happens when I am 20 pounds lighter? That oftentimes is more important than the actual weight loss. So asking yourself, okay, if I lose 20 pounds, who will I be? How will my life look different? And maybe right now you're struggling to play with your kids in the garden. Maybe right now you feel like when you walk up the stairs to your apartment, you're out of breath within a couple of seconds. Maybe you just want to fit back into your clothes again and feel sexy and wear the things that make you feel good. So really ask yourself, what is really my reason as to why I want to achieve my goal? This way, whenever you have a workout scheduled, you have a bigger purpose behind working out. And I see that oftentimes that is lacking with people, and that's why they're not doing it. And that was something that I struggled with for a long time too, because when I had the goal in my mind to just lose weight, my motivation was so much lower than if I had the goal to become stronger and to fit better into my clothes and to feel more attractive for my partner and have a better sex life, like have more condition. These were my motivational reasons as to why I wanted to feel and look a certain way. And so when I was working out, it was so much easier to do it because I had the reason why, okay? And it also, obviously, it wasn't the same one. Over the years, it changed and my workout goals changed. But what's important is that you find your why, you find your motivation. And this way, when you work out, you know at least why you're doing it. Now, the second thing as well that I want to share here is to develop a little ritual so that it feels easier when you do the workout. So an example could be maybe every second day you go to the gym and then you go on a mini walk with your dog. And that's kind of your reward, right? So reward yourself with maybe the workout, something that obviously isn't food or against your goal, but some little like reward of, and then I'm going to watch, Love is Blind for like 20 minutes longer or whatever that might be, finding a little reward. And on top of that, creating a little ritual around that. When you do that, it will not only motivate you, obviously, but it's going to be so much easier to do it as well. And the way that your brain works is it wants to be associated with positive experiences, with something that like, just kind of like a dog. When when you ask a dog to sit and then you give them a little treat, your brain works the same way. And if we gotta work with that, why not? Why not give yourself a little treat? I wouldn't say food-wise, but if it's taking a bath, if it's going on a walk, if it's sitting in the sun, if it's reading your favorite book or watching your favorite TV show or whatever that might be, allowing yourself to create that little reward system with yourself. And then creating a little ritual around it. And that makes things a lot easier. Now, the next thing, I think it's kind of part of the ritual as well, is what could you do around your workout that will make it fun? So let's say you're working out from home, and I have a lot of clients who work out from home because they don't want to go to the gym or they don't have access to the gym. So also working out at home is more than enough if you know what you're doing and you have the right tools. So let's say you have workouts at home. How can you make this workout more enjoyable? So I'm going to give you an example. What I used to do when I used to live, back at my mom's place, I was already an adult because I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. So I moved back in with my mom, and I did not have the money to go to a gym, and did not have a car to drive there. So I was working out from home. And one thing that I love is music, and I love music videos, and I love concerts and shows, and I just always wanted to be, a singer myself and a performer myself. And so I just love watching that stuff. It really hypes me up. It really motivates me. So I would put on, while I was working out, I put on the TV like a concert by Beyonce or a concert by Shakira. I'm like a big Shakira fan, right? I would put on like these things that would make it so motivating for me to exercise, and I would feel fired up, and I would get motivated by these powerful women who were on stage and moving their bodies and feeling and looking great. And that's what got me going. And so this was one of the things that I love to incorporate into my workout, and just made it so much more enjoyable. And I felt a little like Beyonce too, even though I'm nowhere near her. But it kind of felt a little bit like I'm her. And that was fun, And then the other thing as well is maybe it's not music for you. Maybe it's a TV show. Like I did that a couple of times too. I put on the TV show and I watched it while working out, and it made things a lot better. And I made this kind of like connotation. I can only watch this TV show if I work out. And so I was even more motivated to work out. So that's another thing that you can do. Or maybe you like listening to podcasts. So if you do go to the gym, you can put on your favorite podcast, something that motivates you. I do that as well. Still until this day, I listen to music that really hypes me up, as well as podcasts that really hype me up. And when I was doing, certifications within my business, I would also listen to that, and just finding ways to combine things together. Because sometimes, when I would go to the gym, I would be like, oh, I actually have to learn, or I actually want to do something else. And combining those two things just felt nice and actually very enjoyable. So kind of see what that might be for you and how you can make things easier for you. The next thing is starting with an exercise that is ridiculously small. Can be so small, like doing a 5-minute booty workout in the morning. Why I'm saying this is because very likely once you already start doing something and you're in it and your body is fired up and you're having all of these happy hormones explode in your body, you're more likely to continue. Not always. I've been there where I did a 5-minute work and I was like, this is exactly what I needed, bye, I'm done. But it can. And if you're already doing a 5-minute workout and then your body's like, I'm already warm, I feel like I still have more energy, and probably you have more energy because you're moving already, you're gonna add another 5-minute thing and another 5-minute thing. And then long story short, you might have a 30-minute workout instead of a 5-minute workout, right? This can be one possibility. The other possibility is also allowing yourself to build up to the level of exercise that you want to be at. Oftentimes we might be comparing, and I still do this mistake. I compare myself with women that have been in the gym for 20 years and are extremely fit and strong, and I'm not this type of person. And if I compare myself to them, obviously I'm going to make myself feel bad. And like, I'm so far away from them, and they can do 1,000,000 push-ups and I can't do even one, right? That's just metaphorically speaking. And when I do that, obviously it doesn't make me feel good. So how can I be okay with starting small, starting something small, and building the strength up, building myself up? So when, I keep going and I stay consistent, I will get better at it, and eventually it's going to feel better all of the time, right? So that could be another thing that you can do. And I think lastly, which is really, really important too, is focusing on the habit first and the results later. What does this mean? A lot of times, again, if let's say your goal at the gym is I want to lose weight or I want to build muscle or whatever that might be, we can be so focused on a goal that we work out for a week and we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, I still don't see any change. And that can be very discouraging. So how can you instead make it a habit to just go and not really necessarily be so focused on the result of that. And once it becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth in the morning, making your bed, cooking yourself dinner, whatever habits you have in life, you know how to drive a car, like all of these things have become so ingrained in you, and we want the same thing to happen to you with working out. And once you add, the workout as a habit and it just becomes part of your life and your lifestyle, then you can focus on the result and getting better at the workout and working out harder, working out more, whatever that might look like. But when you're so focused on, I need to be there and I'm doing this for this and I have 3 months left to whatever that might be, it's not going to be enjoyable, right? So really focusing on building bit by bit. That will make a big difference. I'm very sure about that. So yeah, this is all that I can share with you. I hope, the little tips are going to be helpful for you. Now, if you are looking to really become your absolute best, healthiest version this year as a vegan woman, I want to remind you, we have the group coaching program, the Plentiful Goddess, which is really for the woman who's ready to lose weight, but ready to do it and is done dieting and is done trying thing after another and feeling like a failure. This program is really for you and you're ready to finally step into the version that you're meant to be. You can find the link for the application in the show notes. I'm very excited to connect with you and see if the program is the right fit for you. And without further ado, I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.